We were having some building work done and digging out some foundations, and the builders discovered what they thought were human remains, so a jawbone. So they called me to examine it. I looked at it, also found a piece of skull with a little hole in it, so we immediately called the police. The police sent a unit to investigate, confirmed that it was human remains, cordoned off the whole area, and then also brought in an archaeologist to look at the remains to identify how old they were. As soon as it was determined that they were older than 100 years, it was said that it was not a crime scene, so the police went, and the archaeologist then gave me advice about how I could proceed, which was either to bury the remains again or to have them professionally removed under licence.
I've excavated the skeleton, I've exposed it, and I've removed quite a lot of soil around it, and I found a piece of pottery in the soil above it, which I think looks Roman. So it makes me think, because Sandy is a big Roman settlement, so the gut feeling was always that the body was a part of a Roman burial, and the piece of pot that I found with it might show, that this is the case.
This is a good example of the rich history that Sandy boasts. It's based on a Roman background, of which we've got many artefacts in the town. We are a historical research group constituted in 2001 for the purpose of preserving as much of Sandy's past as possible and researching into the past. We have a massive archive. Unfortunately, it's housed in various apartments and rooms and houses around the town, and it really needs to be brought out into the open so that the people of Sandy can understand and appreciate just what happened in the past in Sandy.
Sandy is interesting archaeologically because it is a big Roman settlement. It was one of the more important Roman settlements in, Bedfordshire wasn't a county then, but in the Roman period, because it lies at the junction of at least two major Roman roads. And the main part of the settlement, as excavated, doesn't lie far from here. It just lies a few hundred metres on the other side of the railway line. And they've found parts of buildings there, and they've also found bits of a cemetery. The cemetery in Roman times were usually outside the main settlement along the roads which were going into Sandy. And one road actually comes out almost in this area going over to Bedford. So this is quite a good location for potential burials on the main roads.
We currently have at the moment an excavation going on at the south end of Sandy, which is the site of the new Tesco superstore, who have commissioned local architects to research and look at the possibility of discovering Roman findings and Anglo-Saxon findings to add along to those that are already exhibited in the Sandy Town Council offices from a previous dig, and there's a considerable number of items there that the general public would be very, very interested in seeing. We have for some 10 years now been aiming at a project for a museum for the townsfolk of Sandy. We have several sites in mind, one of which is more central to the town than others and clearly is beneficial to the folk of Sandy. The material that would be on view would easily fill a fairly large building, and with the constant increase of information as it becomes available, and a lot of it is being made available to us, a museum in Sandy is really overdue and very much in demand by the townsfolk of Sandy.